Please.
and coach your brothers in baseball.
The notice requirement of the Open Public Meetings Act for this meeting have been satisfied. Would you turn off electronic equipment as we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? Attention, salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call the roll, please.
Mayor Becker,
Here.
Commissioner Amadeo, Commissioner Blumberg.
I am here.
We have before us our for approval our minutes of the last meetings. What is your pleasure?
I will make the motion.
I'll second the motion.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
At this point, we'll open for public comment. We have 3 minutes on any subject you'd like to speak about. Would you come up, please state your name and address for the record?
Sure. Dave Leopold, 207 North Clarendon Avenue. I'm a Vietnam vet, U.S. Navy Vietnam vet. I also was a teacher. Actually did a little stint at Thai school, knew Bill Mosca, went to school with Kenny College. As you know, on Clarendon Avenue, all the cars from over the bridge and most from Jerome Avenue over the bridge have to go down, or don't have to, but a lot of them choose to go down Amherst Avenue, and it all filters into Clarendon Avenue, okay? We have a stop sign there, of course, nobody pays attention. So what I did is I wanted to know how fast these cars are actually going. So being a former teacher and math, I took a stopwatch, and I measured the distance 10 feet after the stop sign, so when they started to accelerate, to 10 feet before they're supposed to stop at the stop sign at the end of Clarendon, or the first part of Clarendon, 200 block. So you measure speed into time and the distance, you will get speed. The speed limit is 25. Here's the numbers I got. The average speed, 48.916. The highest was clocked at an unbelievable 60 miles an hour, 60.101 to be exact. The slowest being 33.77, okay? Now, here's the question. Last year, a car went through the stop sign and hit Andy Chapman's house on the side. Nobody was hurt, thank goodness. This was brought up. I don't know why something wasn't done. We have about 8 children on the street, okay? One, I believe, has a possible disability. I'm not sure. I don't want to say it. I don't want to add a libel suit. I know the law. I studied law in college, partly, all right? Now, gosh forbid somebody gets hit on that street or killed or kid with 8 children year-round. What would happen? Well, a riot, and you'd probably have a major lawsuit. For the goodness of me, I cannot believe that you can't put a sign up there. And this is what I'm going to propose, that you put a slow down children at play, something that slow children at play. It's a very simple request that can be put on the telephone pole or something. You have a one-way sign, and then you have some arrows. You have to be a moron not to understand it's one way. You don't need to put little arrows. Instead of those little arrows, why don't you put a sign, it could be 4x6, and I'll even help you pay for it, and say, slow, children at play. Because I'm telling you right now, if somebody gets hit, it's going to be, and you know something, I'm retired, I have nothing to do. Maybe I should run for council. I don't know. I don't have anything to do, all right? I mean, this is absolutely ridiculous. My next door neighbor, who's a fireman, Sean Murphy, has addressed the mayor personally 2 or 3 times while I was working at the hardware store. I'm sure you know Sean. And the mayor says, okay, we'll take care of it. It hasn't been taken care of it, and that's been 1.5 years ago. All right? So, I mean, just what you could do is put a cop, if once in a while, because I know I have other things to do, at the end of the street hidden, you'd make a fortune to cover your budget for the next 5 years writing tickets. All right? I mean, this is something that this really has to be addressed. It's a sign. If you can't afford it, I'll help you pay for it.
Sir, your time is up. Hold on, we'll get a response for you. Chief?
I will get these speed display signs out there. We'll monitor some traffic. We can actually get the children to play sign up immediately. With all due respect, I doubt your speeds are accurate. So what I'll do is I'll monitor it with our devices and come up with some solid speeds. Well,
I used to be a teacher. Okay. I might be off by, say I'm off by 5, you know. That's still a lot of speed.
We'll get some.
Don't you agree that's a lot of speed? even if it's 40 miles an hour, and it's much higher than
I
that.
can't say until I
Okay.
actually see the data from our...
Well, if you put a police officer randomly and they did a speed check, you'd write so many tickets, you'd have the budget paid for the next
It
5
will be
years.
taken care of.
All right.
At least put a sign up.
He just
At
said
least do that.
Said he would, sir.
Okay, I'm going to follow up on this, because I'm retired, I have nothing to do, and this is very important, we have 8 kids on the street. All right?
Thank
God
you.
forbid anybody gets hit.
Any other public comment?
It is.
Sewell, 22 West Drive. Last month, I reported an email from a highly reliable, highly credible source alleging 14 students were using fake addresses to attend Margate schools. This is intolerable. It is also criminal. NJSA 2C 20-8 defines such deception as criminal theft of services. Services include labor or professional service or other public service. It carries a $15,000 fine, Mayor. Don't try to multitask at your stage of the game. Or 3 to 5 years imprisonment. It's high time for the Margate Board of Education to stop turning a blind eye to such criminal behavior. The antidote I suggest costs absolutely nothing to taxpayers. It is most simple and straightforward. Simply send a flyer home to the parents of the students offering a $1,000 cash reward, no questions asked, and totally anonymous, for information disclosing names of students using fake addresses. The reward would be contingent upon recovering at least $1,000 in back tuition. A reward would be based upon the earliest postmarked letter or email date. People could track the progress of the investigation on the school's website. People would be able to receive their reward by just providing their 7-digit identifying number. Ideally, the program would be closely monitored by the superintendent and CPA Susan Palia. Each would be required to sign off and co-sign any reward of cash money. If either party does not want to deal in cash, then traveler's checks or postal money orders, Mayor, could easily be utilized. Instead, this program would send real fear of serious criminal prosecution into the hearts of parents attempting to scam the system. These criminal thieves would be encouraged to turn themselves in to avoid criminal prosecution and to set up a repayment schedule for education already received. Mayor, this is not an inordinate request. It doesn't cost you a red cent. Doesn't cost the city or taxpayers a red cent. Let's institute this policy immediately because it's been going on since the time of Patina and perhaps before. It's a joke, Mayor. You're taking advantage of the taxpayers. And you promised to safeguard the taxpayers' dollars.
And he does.
And the semi-monthly assemblyman next to you.
John, can I assume that you presented this to the Board of Education who deals with this? We have no power to do that, so.
Oh, yes, you do, Mayor. When there is grand theft. Let me answer your question, Mayor. You put the question out there, I'm going to give you the answer. When there's a violation of the Crimes Code, it comes clearly under the city's concern, and it supersedes any delegated authority to that Board of Education. And the reason I wasn't able to address it, because they don't have it on the second Wednesday of this month. I was informed by Nanette Galloway that they held it last night, and there was a bit of a Donnybrook that I missed, a brouhaha about your spendthrift people on that board that you keep appointing. But NJSA 2C 20-8 can be enforced by the chief of police if he so desires, and if the solicitor, our esteemed solicitor, so encourages him to do so.
Thank you, John.
Is that sufficient answer, Mayor?
Yes, it is,
Do you
John.
have any doubt in your mind, Mayor?
None at all, John.
Are those neurons and synapses properly firing?
John? Any other public comments?
I'm going to guess that this is where you wanted me. Did you want me in public comment? Ladies and gentlemen, Ed Berger, 9402 Amherst Avenue, and still the mostly appreciated president of the Margate Business Association, and still advocating and accepting applications from others for next year's job. I have before me, and has been emailed to all of you, our schedule of events for the upcoming year, and I'm here to get, again, hopefully your endorsement, blessing, and support for what is one of the most important partnerships that we have in the city, the 105 businesses, the Margate Business Association, and our Board of Commissioners, and all of our department heads. All of the events that are in the proposal are pretty much the same as they were last year, both from a financial and structural standpoint. All of the dates have been submitted to you and to all the department heads. Department heads have signed off that those dates are okay for them. The financing for the year 2016 comes in at exactly the same dollar amount as it came in 2015 and in 2014, even with the adoption of the MBA picking up the annual Margate calendar, which is something we'd also love to have you take back. But I don't think there are any takers. The only real change in this upcoming year's program is a program that we're very, very excited about that will occur on May 9th with your approval. 9th? 7th? 7th with your approval, which is the Saturday. And that would be a return visit from the ASAC surf fishing organization. Years ago, ASAC conducted a surf fishing tournament here in Margate. It was in the 80s, 70s, 80s, and it was hosted by the Margate Fishing Pier. This year, we're very hopeful that we'll be able to build a wonderful shoulder season event on the 7th and bring anywhere between 100 and 200 anglers into town. We've had some preliminary conversations with the chief of police, of course, and with Chief Tabasso about using the beaches. We have a meeting scheduled for next week to talk about the logistics of the beach buggies and making sure everybody gets registered properly and that everybody signs off and signs the proper waivers. We would like to be able to use the pavilion as headquarters for the event. There is a beach ramp right there. I've checked with Mary Ann, and the facility is available for that day. The Recreation Department, under normal circumstances, would charge for the use of the facility for the day, but I would hope that, considering the circumstances of it being involved in the MBA process, that the daily rental fee for the pavilion could be waived. We would be able to have an advance meeting with Public Works, the Fire Department, the city, and anyone else who had skin in the game for the 7th to make sure that any concerns that they had were laid to rest. So it is with great pleasure that I again ask the three commissioners to consider our full partnership for 2016. If you have any questions, I'm not only here to answer the ones about the standing events, but we've also brought the board from ASAC along this evening in case you have any directed questions as it relates to the tournament. Gentlemen?
Do you have any questions? No, please.
No, thank you very much for your hard work, as always, and I'm good with it, guys.
I'm good too, Ed. As always, just keep everybody informed about what's going on.
Yep.
If I can help you in any way, you know where I am. Okay?
Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Any other,
Good. Terrific. Thank you very much.
any other public comment?
This is the difference.
Steve Warner, 103 North Sumner Avenue. I know we were talking about the dredging, and I noticed that it was like about 150,000 cubic yards to 350,000 cubic yards. Is that correct? And if we paid as much as Ocean City for that, that would be $15 to $35 million for this, getting rid of the spoils. I mean, just multiplying it out, $100 a yard.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Steve, we don't have the situation Ocean City does. We're not going to handle material.
Well, I understand that, but I'm just, I'm just giving I understand it's not going to be $100 a yard, but what is it going to be? Do you have any idea of the cost?
We will go out for competitive bidding when the time is right.
Okay.
Again, we're not going to waste money. The issue is we're still in the infancy, in preliminary stages of even looking for grants. So
Right.
we don't know what the cost is going to be until you go out to bid.
Okay.
We'll get an engineer's estimate at the time.
Okay, that's fine, but what I'm getting at, do you have something?
May I add to that?
Yes.
Understand that Ocean City
Right.
is trucking.
I do understand that. I do.
Plus creating the road. Right.
But
Plus building a road for it. I mean, so they're $100, right? The guy at Blue Water Marina, he's $100.
Okay.
We're looking for much cheaper. That's why we're trying to get this
But
dredge hole.
Much cheaper, but still $50 a year? I mean, yeah. Okay, so that's $7.5 million to $15 million.
If you did everything, Bay Shore Drive,
Well, I'm just-
log cabin, if you did everything.
Well, there's a point to this, okay? Now, I'm sure there'll be some grants, and I'm sure that it won't be enough money, okay? So we're going to have to go to more bonded indebtedness, okay? I just think that some of this Ordinance 5 and Ordinance 6 are a little bit rich, okay, for taking into consideration that maybe next year or whatever, we're going to have to go to the trough to really get some money. I think it's time to tighten the belt now and to prepare for the future bonded indebtedness, okay? And also, this road program is just too much, okay? This $1.5–2 million a year repaving roads that are repaved every 10 years, 5 years you're repaving the roads. It's too much. I think that's got to stop. And the money it's very short-sighted. I think you have to have a longer time frame for what this city is going to be like in 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years, what you're going to leave or the people that are here in the future with, okay? And not just
Thank you, Steve.
some trucks and some, whatever, some playground equipment. You need a longer outlook, a longer-term outlook. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Steve. Any other public comment? Is there a motion to close public comment?
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
We will now go to public comment on resolutions, as there's no second reading of ordinances.
Sewell, 22 West Drive. Mayor, there seems to be a glaring omission in these resolutions that should be right up the alley of your semi-monthly assemblymen. There was a clarion call from our tribesmen, the county executive, Denny Levinson, and I see no resolution that he has requested the municipalities to put forth and to deliver to Trenton against this pilot program, because this pilot program has no co-pilot program to protect the individual taxpayers. So I ask you to comply with the county executive's request and to get this resolution up to Trenton ASAP, Mayor. Don't sit on your hands. You get your knickers in a twist over $4,000. This is hundreds of thousands of dollars. So get them untwisted and get this resolution done immediately. I would suggest that you introduce it tonight to expedite it along to Trenton. And perhaps that semi-monthly assemblyman can deliver it in person to our supersized rhino. Mr. Bucket Boy for the Donald.
John, you're hilarious.
It's my second calling, Assemblyman, my second calling.
Did you ever do stand-up comedy?
Oh, all the time, right here. But Mayor, your undivided attention to Resolution 37-2.16.
Yes, John.
Mayor, I know you're confused, but now I'm confused. The International Dark Sky Association?
Yes.
That's
I'm
correct.
sorry, I don't know what that is. I read the resolution, and I'm still confused.
Okay,
I hate to be obtuse.
Go ahead, you're just saving Scott.
I'm going to say point. I'm glad you picked up on it, and for the public so that they can hear.
Stop my time, if you will.
You'll get 48 seconds, relax.
All right.
It's not about the time, it's about giving you an answer. We have an issue within the city that we really didn't have a lighting ordinance in place that could address certain issues of concerns of quality of life in our neighborhoods. And our solicitor, Scott Abbott, has been working on an ordinance for probably 5-6 months now. Yes. And we need to complement the enforcement end of the ordinance. We need to have a professional that can help us testify in front of a court of law to give teeth to an ordinance that is very difficult to make it applicable based on lighting. So this Dark Sky is a company that has lighting engineers that are willing to work with us. It's a nominal fee, and their advice will help us implement an ordinance to keep our neighborhoods lit properly where infiltration doesn't affect the quality of life in those areas. Thank you.
But my question is, are the fines sufficient to cover these professional services that we're receiving? And when they testify, will there be fines sufficiently steep enough so the taxpayer isn't on the hook for these expenditures?
Very good point, and that has been covered. I believe the fines we talked about were $1,000 to $2,000.
Okay. Will it apply to Kmart and the blue light specials, perhaps?
Yeah, you got it, buddy.
All right. That man out there, next thing you know, you want to put the person on Jerome Avenue with the Easter display and the St. Patrick's Day display, out of business.
You got it. Thank you.
2, 1.
Good night.
Any other public comment? Is there a motion to close, public?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Okay. Johanna?
I'd like a motion for resolution, I'm sorry, I have to start with the ordinance.
Ordinances, please.
A motion for ordinance number 5-2016, general capital ordinance.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for ordinance number 6-2016, utility capital
I'll
ordinance.
make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 30-2016, authorizing bill payment and claims to Colmar Home Center?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
Mayor Becker?
I abstain.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
I would like a consent agenda motion for resolution number 30-2016 through number
31.
or 31-2016 through 39-2016,
I'll make
with the
that-
individual resolutions being listed on the website.
I will make a motion.
I'll second it.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
May I have a motion for resolution number 40-2016, budget introduction, year 2016?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
A motion for resolution number 40-2016, approval of Margate City Employees Association labor contract.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it, and that's 41, Johanna.
Sorry, 41.
That's okay.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
I have an addition to our resolutions. I would like to enter resolution number 42-2016, authorizing upland ownership of block 18, lot 19, to obtain approval, among other things, replacement of city-owned bulkhead. May I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeus?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Thank you, Johanna. Is there a motion to adjourn?
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Mayor Becker?
Yes.
Commissioner Amadeus?
Yes.
Commissioner Blumberg?
Yes.
Thank you all for being here.